secret of a gymnast's grace and movement comes from the strength and balance provided by strong hands. You can see it in Ivan Ivankov of Belarus. His control and precision has led him to the top of the world in men's gymnastics. And it's a developing skill in young American Vanessa Adler. Today, she will challenge Olympic champion Svetlana Horkina in the French International on Fox Sports Net. And welcome, everyone, to the Palais Omnisport de Bercy. Bart Connor, along with Nadia Comaneci. This event here in Paris consists of an all-around competition, which is already completed. We'll see the individual event finals today. Just the top 5 in each event qualified. 15 countries are represented here in Paris, and 35 of the best men and women in the world. Nearly 12,000 spectators have gathered here in Bercy. We open the competition on the floor exercise. This is an exciting opportunity for a young American, Shawn Townsend, out of Houston, Texas. It's a very powerful tumbler.
Beautiful twisting element. He's very, oh my, what a silly mistake.
Perhaps a rookie mistake. He started gymnastics at 9. This is his first year on the senior national team for the U.S. 1997, he was the junior national champion, and this is a great opportunity for him to compete against the best in the world like Ivankov and Yemov. They are all here in Paris. His last tumbling run coming up now. He's powerful. Not a bad finish for Shawn Townsend.
Here is this silly mistake. You can see on his face how embarrassed he is that he made that mistake.
But he did come back with some good twisting elements, as you mentioned, Nadia. This combination here earns him 0.5 of a point in bonus for connecting those skills together. Along with his coach there, Kevin Majike, a 9.1, the score for Townsend. Not a bad score. He's the first to go here in the floor finals. That brings us to Alexei Yemov. He's 22 years old. He's the reigning world champion on this event.
And he has really clean execution. I really like it.
He has the perfect combination of power as well as grace and elegance. Oh, out of bounds there. You lose 1/10 of a point if you go over that blue line, which he did.
And look at those beautiful flares.
This guy won 6 medals in the Olympics in Atlanta. He's the Olympic champion on the vault. He tends to be very strong in the leg events, the vault and the floor. And he struggles somewhat in some of the upper body events like pommel horse, rings, and even parallel bars. I'll never forget when we first saw him in St. Petersburg, Russia at the 1994 Goodwill Games. He was just 18 years old and already quite a polished young gymnast.
Nice position on this double pipe.
And as always, he kind of works the crowd. A little wave, a little flex, a little smile. Take a look at this opening tumbling run. This is the double layout, and he does the full twist in the second somersault. Boy, that's just about as well as you can do that.
And look at the form and execution on these flares. Beautiful.
The score, 9.5. So Alexei Yemov, our leader here in the floor finals. The next competitor is the reigning world all-around champion. He is, of course, Ivan Ivankov from Belarus.
And he's a little sloppy here. Oh, it's a lot of pressure on his Achilles tendon.
It's an amazing story about that Achilles. Here's a guy 12 days before the Olympics in Atlanta. He tore his Achilles tendon walking across a parking lot as he left the doctor's office. He had his Achilles tendon reattached, and he came back to win his second world all-around title in 1997, about a year later after that dramatic surgery. It's an amazing comeback story. You hear that horn, that signifies that he has 20 seconds to finish his exercise. This will be his last run, just 3 tumbling runs.
And he stuck the landing perfectly.
It is really remarkable that he can do that kind of level of tumbling. In fact, he can do even more difficult moves on that Achilles tendon after the repair.
Yes, let's take a look. Right here is where he puts a lot of pressure on his Achilles tendon.
And a score of 9.5 for Ivan Ivankov. And because Nemov had a higher execution score, he gets the gold, Ivankov the silver, and American Sean Townsend gets third. Hi, Bart Connor and Nadia Comaneci here at the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City. Over in Paris at the French International, a great start for American Sean Townsend, earning the bronze medal on the floor exercise. Nadia, we're getting ready for the start in the women's competition, and like the men, we have an outstanding field of competitors.
Yes, we have the always interesting and mysterious Olympic and world champion Svetlana Horkina of Russia and Romania's Olympic and world champion Simona Amunar, the very solid Simona Amunar.
We'll also have a chance to see from Ukraine Victoria Karpenka and the amazing American Vanessa Atler.
And Vanessa is really hot right now, and I really like that she's not afraid to travel all over the world to compete against the best. This attitude will help her later at the Worlds in China and in next Olympic Games in 2000.
We'll head back to Paris, France in a minute. Gymnastics continues here on Fox Sports Net. Welcome back to Paris. We're ready for the start of the women's competition. This is the current world all-around champion, Svetlana Horkina. She's ready for her second vault. Nadia, let's take a look at what happened a moment ago in her first vault.
Her hand slipped.
She had a rough landing there. Her hands actually hit the ground when she landed. What happened?
Let's take a look. Her hands should have been more on the top of the horse. And they are way over the horse.
So she slipped off the backside of the horse, had to put her hands down to save the landing. The score only an 8.15. In these finals, they do 2 different vaults, and the score will be averaged.
And this is her second vault. This is 9.6 start value. Beautiful vault.
Much better that time for Horkina.
This time she got a better push off the horse that gave her rotation and enough height.
This has traditionally been a weak event for her. She has most of her success on the bars, the beam, and the floor. But she did a good job pulling that vault around. A much better score, but it'll be a low average of only 8.587, which brings us to American Vanessa Atler, and this is where she is spectacular, the vault. Wow.
This is a 9.9 start value, and she has so much power. It looks like it's very easy for her to do this vault.
She was the U.S. co-national champion in 1997. Too young to compete in the World Championships that year, but this year in the fall in China, she'll be at the Worlds, and it may be on this event where she could earn a medal. 9.475, you see her score for the first vault. Once again, they're averaged, and her second vault tends to be even better.
Ooh.
Wow.
Perfect vault. We say in Romania, this was a kinogramă. That means by the book.
And you can see from this angle, like a pole vaulter, she launches this thing in the air higher and farther than anybody else in the competition. 9.7 the score for her second vault. There's her average. 1 vaulter to go to try to get a medal. Adriana Crissi from Italy.
And this is a 9.6 start value vault, and as you saw, she over-rotated the vault. She made a little step on a landing. But she has a great push off the horse, and she's very powerful, and that's why she gets her body around.
9-1-5, the score for the first vault. Not a bad effort. Adriana Crissi, just 16 years old, from Milan.
And this is a handspring pike front, and this is a 9.5 start value.
You see that look on her face. She knows she got a little lucky to make that landing, didn't she?
Yeah, it seems like a vault that she doesn't practice every day, but she made it around.
She's a terrific personality, always one of the more expressive gymnasts out there on the international circuit. She kind of piked and kind of tucked that last vault. Her score, an 8.975, the average for the two, so by a mile. Vanessa Atler wins her first gold medal today here in Paris. So when we come back, the women move to the uneven bars as gymnastics continues here on Fox Sports Net. Welcome back to Paris. The French International Gymnastics competition continues. We move to the second event for the women. This is the uneven bars, and this young lady is Victoria Karpenko of Ukraine. Could be a favorite to win gold in Sydney. She is terrific.
She has beautiful form and very nice technique. Difficult combination. Right here into a release move. And another release move.
A hamstring injury kept her out of the '96 Olympics, and a broken hand out of last year's World Championships. Sure hope she's healthy this year in China or next year in Sydney, because she has the potential to win it all.
Very difficult dismount. Just a little step on the landing. Here is a ginger to the transition to the lower bar. She was a little off here.
And yet she's so strong, she can almost muscle herself back into the correct position. Score for Karpenko, a 9.5. This is 15-year-old Huang Mandan from China. Third in the 1998 national championships there. This is her first major international competition.
And she does everything with precision. She has more difficulty than a lot of other gymnasts.
So typical of the Chinese national team members, they all have perfect technique, just gorgeous execution.
And it's just packed with a lot of elements. Here comes the dismount. Nice dismount. But Karpenko did that in layout position.
Score a 9.65, so the overall exercise a higher score than what we saw for Karpenko. She is our leader, but don't go away, because this young lady is the world champion 3 times on this event and the reigning Olympic champion. Horkina is a master here.
And although this is a routine she's done a few years, we've seen her make mistakes. She has very unique elements, includes 2 moves that she created.
She said she's very conscious of the medal count at competitions like that. She wants to make sure that Russia comes home with more gold medals than any other country.
And she's not even wearing grips, which are the hand guards that most of the gymnasts wear.
Let's take a look at that 1.5 pirouette and the transition down to the low bar. That's what they call a pack salto, a laid out somersault invented by a Korean gymnast. This move coming up here is the Horkina 2. It's one of those moves that she invented.
Stay down there.
And here comes the dismount, way high. And she does just a little jump on the landing.
Stay down there. Stay there.
Her score a 9.7, so as expected, the world and Olympic champion will earn another gold medal here in France today. She gets the bars. Horkina first, Huang Mandan second, and Ukrainian Victoria Karpenko earns third. When we come back to Paris, a recap on the men's all-around competition. Gymnastics continues on Fox Sports Net. The women will be up on the balance beam in a moment, but let's take a quick look back at yesterday's all-around competition for the men. Olympic gold medalist Alexei Nemov continued his inconsistent streak with 2 scores in the 8s. He did get a 9.525 for this effort on the high bar and managed 6th place in the all-around. Alexander Beresh from Ukraine scored in the low to mid-9s on all the events. He got a 9.4 for this effort on the still rings. Last year in this competition, he was 7th. This year, he managed the bronze. Dmitry Karbanyenko, originally from Russia, married a French girl and immigrated to France. He was solid on all the apparatus, scored a 9.7 for this powerful floor exercise routine. He brought home the silver to his new home country of France. But it was Ivan Ivankov, the reigning world all-around champion, who scored a 9.75 with this effort on one of his best events, the rings. But most importantly, it was a 9.625 on this vault that punctuated his performance. Ivan Ivankov won the gold. Now back to the women's action. Vanessa Atler will be up on the balance beam in the 3rd of 4 events in the women's competition. She already has a gold on today's vault competition.
Beautiful start. She is very powerful.
Her coaches, Beth and Steve Rybacki, say that they really have to work with her on finding a good balance between the aggressiveness that she naturally has and keeping in control.
Oop.
Oh.
She seems a little off.
Normally she's pretty solid on the balance beam.
Wow.
You think she's a little flustered, perhaps, from those concentration errors?
She seems a little panic. At every major move, she does a little mistake.
Nadia, what happens when you're in the middle of the routine and you start to lose your self-confidence?
It's common with young gymnasts. They tend to look back at their mistakes instead of focus at what they have left to do. She could have saved this.
Now that's a major deduction, a half a point for falling off. She seems completely flustered by all this. She has a very difficult tumbling run coming up here at the end.
And good dismount. I'm sure she is very disappointed. This is the first layout where she was a little off, and she was a little more off. This is the switch lip into a gainer layout. It was nicely done. She was a little off. She grabbed the beam here, and then she jumped.
It looked like she gave up a little bit there at the end. Score an 8.45 for Vanessa Atler. When we come back, the women's balance beam competition will continue. This is 18-year-old Ludovine Furnon, originally from Nîmes, France. Since October of 1998, living and training in Norman, Oklahoma. She is the reigning national all-around champion of France.
Nice tumbling pass.
Solid start.
Here comes the Fourneau move, the one that she invented.
You know, they say that people always look a little bit bigger on TV. Sometimes it is deceiving. This young lady is 4 feet 8 inches tall and 84 pounds. An amazing athlete.
a little deduction there. She missed the connection, but she covered up. I really love this pose.
It's kind of her signature move. She does a similar move on the floor as well.
And clean dismount.
And a terrific response from the 12,000 people here in attendance at Bercy Arena.
And this is, again, the Fourneau move.
And her dismount was very high, a tucked double back somersault, but as you can see here, a little sloppy in the form, although a good landing. And she's pleased with that performance. 9.45. That should stand up well here in the finals in France. Now Simona Amenar. She has had most of her success as a gymnast on the floor and the vault, although she's solid on the beam. She's the reigning Olympic champion and world champion on the vault.
And she's a powerful tumbler. A little sloppy there.
She has won 7 medals at World Championship competition, 5 of them gold.
And she cheated a little on this jump. She turned on the beam a little bit. A high punch front, a little deduction.
Nadia, going back to your time, when you think of the Romanians on the beam, you think of consistency, solid, good concentration. Where does that all come from?
I just think that we have a very good school on this event, and it's been proven for many, many years.
Is it repetition?
It is repetition, yes. On this event, you have to do a lot of repetition.
Here is that front somersault, very high, and once again a good example of her power, although she was a little off and had a few bobbles throughout the exercise.
And this is the nice combination of 2 back handsprings into her double tuck dismount.
A great score, 9.65. She is our leader, but we have one more performer to go. She is the reigning European champion on this event, and this is Evgenia Kuznetsova. She has an Olympic silver medal. She competed for the Russian team at the Olympics in Atlanta.
She needs a little cleanup on her jumps. I really like that she has an unusual combination that earned her bonus points. Very difficult pass.
And a nice save there at the end.
You can see on her face how concentrated she is.
She's also spectacular on the bars, was a finalist last year at the World Championships in Switzerland. All she has left now is the dismount.
Beautiful dismount, a big step on a landing. This is a great pass. It's a full twisting back handspring to another back handspring into a layout.
And right here with that arm movement, you can see she checks the landing, but doesn't give away a major deduction. So her score is at 9.525, so Romania's Simona Amenar wins her first gold today. Next up, the men's horizontal bar here in Paris. But quickly, let's take a look at yesterday's all-around competition for the women. Simona Amenar, the world and Olympic champion, earned a 9.75. for this performance on the balance beam, but unfortunately she made an amateur error on the vault. She performed her second vault before getting the green light from the judges, earned a 0, and that dropped her to 11th out of 13 athletes in the all-around. A disappointment there.
Ludivine Fournon pleased the home crowd. She was consistent in all 4 events, a 9.6 on a balance beam, and a 9.5 for this floor performance earned her the bronze.
And 17-year-old Vanessa Atler was in the 9.3 to 9.4 range on 3 of her events, but she was outstanding with this floor performance. She scored a 9.825 with moves like this to earn the silver in the all-around.
Svetlana Horkina matched Atler with her own 9.825 on the bars with perfect form and a great landing.
And she capped off her all-around chances with a 9.7 on this brand new floor exercise routine to edge American Vanessa Atler out by about 0.3 of a point and earn her share of the $120,000 in prize money available here in France. Now, we thought you might get a kick out of seeing this performance because trampoline will be in the Olympics in Sydney, Australia for the first time ever. This young man from Russia, the World and World Cup champion German Knichov, showed us why trampoline was perhaps the first X Games sport with incredible difficulty and terrific execution. He dazzled the crowd to win the gold medal here in Paris. Surely going to be a crowd pleaser in Sydney. Several of the best rhythmic gymnasts in the world also competed here in Paris. The bronze medal in the all-around went to this young lady. She's just 16 from Minsk, Yulia Raskina. She scored a 9.849 with a lovely ribbon routine to earn the bronze. A gorgeous blend of art and sport. The silver in the all-around went to Yelena Vitrichenko from Odessa, Ukraine. She was the bronze medalist in the Olympics in Atlanta. Been a major force in international rhythmic competition since 1991. She's aiming for the gold in Sydney. But today, the gold medal went to this young lady, 20-year-old Eva Serrano from Nîmes, France. She was 6th in the all-around at the Olympics in Atlanta. And in a sport normally dominated by Eastern European athletes, the all-around gold went to a young lady who won 5 times the French national title in rhythmic gymnastics, Eva Serrano. Congratulations. Hi everyone, Bart Connor along with Nadia Comaneci here in Oklahoma City again. We'll go back to Paris in a moment for more of the French International Gymnastics competition. But first, a quick update on the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame. This past month, 6 gymnastics legends were inducted in a black-tie dinner attended by 250 guests. The inductees included special contributor from the United States, Frank Baer, Yuri Titov of Russia, Nelly Kim of Belarus, Miroslav Sarar from Slovenia, Yukio Endo of Japan, and posthumously, Eugene Mack of Switzerland.
I hope our future generation, our gymnasts, our young generation, will have possibility to visit Hall of Fame here and to study, to learn about famous gymnasts, about history of gymnastics. Because without past, there is no future. Without history, no future.
Nadia and I were there, and it was a great night. And for those of you who are interested in the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame, you can check them out at their website, which is their acronym, IGHOF.com. Now, in France, we're getting ready for the final 2 events. Some say the most exciting 2 events in gymnastics, the men's high bar featuring the world champion Yanni Tanskinen, and the women's floor exercise, which features Amanar, Horkina, and Atler, and they're all very different.
They are completely different, and Horkina has a new floor exercise routine, and she's graceful and elegant, but not not very powerful. On the other hand, Adler and Amunar are unbelievably powerful, but not quite as polished as Horkina. So it should be a very interesting contrast.
We'll go back to France in a moment. Gymnastics continues here on Fox Sports Net. It's time now for the final event in the men's competition here in France. From Spain, Andreu Vivo. He competed for Spain at the 1997 World Championships. Competed on 4 events for them. His best event is the high bar. He does 3 spectacular release moves. And here comes the first one. Nice execution. 2 more. These will be in tuck position. Fantastic. They should give this guy a medal just because he survived those 3 dangerous moves, doubles over the bar.
He was a little off here.
He has really nice swing technique, good power through the bottom. Oh, that's going to get a great score, and he's the first guy to go up. Here is that double layout out over the bar. It's called a Kovacs, invented by a Hungarian gymnast. Actually, Kovacs, when he did it first, he did it like this in the tucked position. Now more and more gymnasts are showing it in the laid out position. And here's a great angle on the hands. Notice those leather hand guards that help the gymnast hang on some of those hairy release moves. 9.6 the score for Vivo, so he sets the pace. Jani Tanskinen now from Finland. He's the reigning world champion. Won the first title for Finland in nearly 50 years when he won at the 97 Worlds in Switzerland, this event. He has his own version of the Kovacs coming up here. Oh, beautiful execution.
He has very nice form. Another release move.
I really like the fact that he doesn't rush. He seems to take very long, fluid swings. Beautiful. Oh, too bad. A big step on the dismount there. Oh, he knows it. He might have just had it. This is a gorgeous release move. It's a laid out front somersault from what they call invert giant swings, where your arms are twisted. He followed it up with a beautiful dismount, but he's shorter rotation. You can see his chest is forward and has to take a big step. 9.55 for Jani Tanskinen. One final competitor here in the men's high bar. It's Ivan Ivankov, who earlier today he won the gold medal with this performance on the still rings. He showed terrific strength moves, great positions, beautiful swing elements. And with that shiny outfit, I have to admit, he took somewhat of a fashion risk, but we're in France, so c'est la vie. This was a great exercise.
Beautiful dismount.
That was the gold medal performance in the rings. Now he has a chance at the high bar. He won a bronze at the 94 Worlds on this event. Here's a release combination. Nice.
He barely caught that one.
A little bit over on that pirouette skill. Didn't quite complete it in the handstand, which is what the judges are looking for. Boy, just like the rings, though, he has such nice technique. Nice position in the air. This guy has had a terrific season. For the last 6 months, he has traveled all over the world, won several titles on the Grand Prix circuit, won a lot of prize money. And I love this combination. This is called an in-bar endo pirouette immediately to the Kovacs, and because he connects those, he gets an extra bonus point. This is the second Kovacs laid out, and watch the form break there. that will be a slight deduction. He gained 3/10 in bonus for doing the move and probably gave about 2/10 back in execution deduction. So Ivankov will earn the silver. Andreu Vivo from Spain will beat the world all-around champion and the world high bar champion. A big day for him. When we come back, the women will be on the floor in the final event. In Paris today, we're ready for the final event. It's going to be the women's floor exercise. And up first will be Simona Amenar. She won a gold medal already today in the balance beam. She, by the way, tied for the bronze medal in the all-around at the '96 Olympics with her teammate, Lavinia Milosevic. It's a new floor routine.
Yes, it is a new floor routine. It's a new music, and she kept a lot of the old skills.
She has long been criticized for not being that artistic in her performance, but you can't deny the explosive tumbling power. Says she idolizes 1992 winner of 6 gold medals, Vitaly Sherba from Belarus, because he's very sure of himself. It appears that she also has similar self-confidence.
Very solid, very solid. And this is a double back somersault with a full twist, very high.
And Nadia, these two passes are good examples of why she's one of the best tumblers in the world, because this is a pike double back somersault. But watch how she fights for the landing.
Stay down there.
Not bad. So the judges give her a 9.6, not a bad score for Amenar. But that brings up American Vanessa Atler. As we saw earlier, she scored a 9.825 in the prelims. She has the ability to just wow them on the floor. She won the Goodwill Games gold medal on this event. Her first tumbling pass is a double layout right to a punch front somersault. Oh, well, you see the judge raise the flag. She's out of bounds.
And I think she's hurt. Yes, I think she's hurt.
You know, it appears that she may have stung that ankle. Boy, this is a shock to see someone stop in the middle of a performance. She must be really hurt. The French trainer out there to help her out. Let's see what happened. This is that double layout. It appears that her feet were too far behind her. That's when she went out of bounds. What happened here, Nadia?
It seemed that she punched on a soft border, not the spring floor. She's landing on one foot there. She's already hurt.
Well, we sure hope she's going to be all right as they take her to the back. Check on her ankle. Her coach, Steve Rybacki, following the trainers here. Hopefully soon we'll get some information about her condition. The competition continues, however. This is Svetlana Horkina. Nadia, we mentioned that she has a new floor routine. Her last routine was to the music Pulp Fiction. It was very popular. Let's see what you think of this one.
But I think that everything that's slow is good for her.
Contrast to powerhouse Amenar and Atler. Very slow, graceful movement. Horkina. Frankly, she doesn't have the power, so she works with what she has.
And she likes to play with the crowd too.
What'd you think?
I think I like the other one better.
Really? Well, we'll see what the judges think. The crowd certainly appreciates it. Enormously popular here in France. This is what she's so good at. How many gymnasts have the composure to just work it during the routine?
Stay down there.
And instead of the powerhouse tumbling, she lands this like a ballerina. 9.725, so the judges did like it. She is our leader with one gymnast to go, the home country favorite, Ludovine Furnon. The music of this floor routine is the Mask of Zorro. Created by Adriana Pope, formerly a rhythmic gymnast and one of the best choreographers in the world.
Oh! It looks like she planned to do a punch front out of this 2.5 twist.
Didn't quite finish the twist. That's a major deduction, 5/10 for falling down. And another 1/10 of a point for going out of bounds. That's too bad.
Oh. Another mistake.
Well, that's a disappointment. Certainly the home crowd wanted to see a more spectacular performance. What happened here?
Here, where she had planned to add a punch front out of this 2.5 twist, and she didn't quite get around.
And by this point, it appeared she just ran out of gas. This is a pike double back somersault. She's supposed to try to keep her legs straight. And it looks like she's just a little bit worn out here at the end of that routine. Hard to hold that landing. There's her coach, Nelu Pope. 8.425 for Ludovine Furnon. So here are the final standings. Horkina wins her second gold medal today. By the way, Vanessa Atler is okay. It appears that she has just a sprained ankle and she'll be back in no time at all. It was a great day here in Paris. Exciting performances. To the nearly sellout crowd in the Bercy Arena. For Nadia Comaneci, I'm Bart Connor. Thanks for watching Fox Sports Net.